Hey YouTube, Anthony from Planet here with the Hawaii 2013 Pokemon State Championships. This is the final match, starting Game 2, with Michael on our left playing a Darkrai Hydreigon variant, and Nui on our right playing Garbodor Tornadus. This is, once again, the start of Game 2. Michael had won Game 1, which means Nui will get to choose to go first or second, and in fact, he will choose to go first. Now, Nui here has a difficult start with just a lone Trubbish, but he does manage to put a tool on it, along with an energy card. Then he follows up with a Hypnotoxic Laser Plate, arguably the best card from Plasma Storm. And then he's able to luckily have a supporter, which happens to be N.
Why does everyone envy me when I'm going to do that to myself? I had 5 supporters in my hand with nothing to play with them.
Alright, now this is an interesting matchup in the fact that in the semifinals, Michael on our left played against a Landorus, Tornadus, Garbodor deck, and Nui on our right happened to play a Darkrai Hydreigon in the semifinals. So same matchup. It's kind of a coin flip to see who wins based on that. However, one big difference in Michael's deck is that he has Hypnotoxic Laser as well, whereas Nui's previous opponent did not. Now, as it can be in quite a few Pokemon games, both players seem to be off to somewhat of a slow start, not getting their main attackers right off the bat, which forces Michael over here to play an energy onto Mewtwo, and then play an N, shuffling both hands back into their decks and drawing 6 cards once again. Now, I should correct myself in saying that Mewtwo for the Darkrai variant decks is and can be a main attacker as well. But for McGeorge, he does happen to get the Darkrai out, which allows free street costs on any Pokemon that has Darkness Energy attached. However, as you'll see in just a moment, Nui will play a Heavy Ball, there it is, to get a Garbodor. Now, Garbodor's ability allows it to, while it has an item attached, or rather a tool attached, allows it to disable all other abilities on the field, which means that Keldeo, Darkrai, and Bouffalant will have their abilities powered off.
Right. I was not gonna do that. I was gonna be a.
And here we have Nui beginning to go on the offense and defensive by playing the Energy and Eviolite on Landorus EX, and then the Catcher to bring out Darkrai. Now, Darkrai has weakness to fighting, which means it will take double damage. Landorus' attack does 30 damage to the active and 30 damage to the bench. So in this case, it will do 60 and 30. Now, Michael over here has to contemplate his next move because his Darkrai is likely to be knocked out within a couple of turns, and it'll be stuck out there without being able to retreat. So he plays an energy onto Mewtwo, which is a very risky maneuver, considering Nui has 2 benched Mewtwo's, and if Nui has the double colors energies, which you saw he just drew, that could be an instant knockout on the Mewtwo for 2 prizes. As you can see here, Nui opts to continue attacking with Landorus, also charging up for its second attack, putting an additional 60 damage on the Darkrai and 30 more damage on the Mewtwo. However, The damage on the Darkrai will get fully healed off with a Max Potion, effectively negating almost all of Nui's previous turns. The glare makes it a little hard to see, but some of you may have already noticed. This is an Ultra Ball play, so he discards 2 and searches his deck for a Pokemon, and which he chooses a Sableye, one of the other key components of any Darkrai deck. Michael follows up the Ultra Ball with a Catcher Play, forcing up the Garbodor, which Nui will not be able to retreat effectively. He will need to have a switch or an escape rope. Michael follows that up with a Bianca play, drawing cards till he has 6 cards in hand. As we can see here, Michael wants to get that Garbodor stuck in the active position and out of here, so he plays the Hypnotoxic Laser and happens to get a Heads, putting it to sleep as well. Now, as you saw, Nui flipped a Heads to allow the Garbodor to wake up, and he did accidentally put 30 damage on the Garbodor, thinking that Verbank City Gym was in play. However, it was not, so it only takes 10 damage. Michael was honest enough to point that mistake out, and the game continues. Now, after that energy on the Darkrai play, you see a supporter play. This is actually Skyla, and sorry about the glare there. He will be choosing a Professor Juniper from the deck.
Oh, so you done? Make it right. Right, Windows and Columbia.
Judgment for 160. That's only 120.
So bad at math. And I got first.
Yeah.
After a little fumble on the math there, as you can see, Michael unfortunately draws a Juniper after he Skylit for one. So he has to dump the Juniper that he Skylit for, but still gets his play. There's not much that Michael can do during this turn, so he's forced to capture out the Garbodor to stall for some time, and unfortunately he does not have Switch in the deck, not able to retreat by attaching a Darkness, so that Poison will tick on the Darkrai for the knockout and 2 prizes to Nui. So while Nui is contemplating which supporters to use this turn, as he showed the Skyla a little while ago, you heard Michael chant Juniper, because Nui does have a relatively large hand, and Michael wants him to have to dump the entire thing.
No man, that's the best situation. Yeah, let's shoot it with a gun.
And after the Hypnotoxic Laser play, getting the sleep on the Sableye, Michael gets his wish, and Nui plays the Juniper, dumping his entire hand to draw a fresh hand of 7 cards.
Was it worth it?
Was it worth it is the question, and it looks like it was, as Nui plays Verbank City Gym, which makes all poison Pokemon take additional 20 damage. Nui passes his turn, 30 damage goes to Sableye, and it stays asleep, putting some harm to Michael's plans. Now that we have some time here, I would like to point out a couple of errors in the gameplay. Unfortunately, I was not able to table watch this match myself and had a rookie do it. As you can see, both players' prizes are not laid out properly, and the benches are a little messy. So when you're playing in a premier event, you will need to watch out for this. Make sure your prizes are laid out in such a way that a judge passing by can very easily determine how many there are remaining. Michael's prizes are kind of like that, only because of the professor logo on the sleeve, so you can see how many there are. But as you can see, the first 2 or the furthest left are kind of obscured.
Thank you, Captain Obvious. Thank you.
You're welcome. Now, as the match goes on, Michael is forced to pass his turn. He does let the Sableye wake up, but it takes 30 more damage, leaving it with 10 HP remaining. Should Nui leave the Sableye in the active position, it will be knocked out by poison. As you can see, Nui has other plans. Instead of letting Sableye get knocked out by poison, he wants some more prizes. So he brings up the Mewtwo. Now, I believe this is a level ball that he just played. I can't know for sure, but it's definitely not a supporter. But he does fail the search. And for those of you who have never played Pokemon, anytime you search your deck for something via a trainer card or an attack, even if you have a legal target, you may fail the search. And as you can see here, Nui does play an Now here Nui is lucky enough to draw the laser, gets ahead, putting Mewtwo to sleep, plays an energy on his other benched Mewtwo, leaving him with 2 fully charged Mewtwo and a fully charged Landorus. And unfortunately for Michael, Mewtwo remains asleep, taking 30 damage between turns because of poison.
Your Pokemon are lazy.
I know, right? Stay down.
awaken. So only to die. It's time for the place.
Here we see Michael checking or double checking to see what exactly Rescue Card does. No, he doesn't have any plays, unfortunately, so he has to pass the turn, allowing the damage to take on Mewtwo. Michael gets the heads on the Hypnotoxic Laser, putting Garbodor to sleep and having it poisoned. And here you have Michael playing Computer Search, where he gets to discard 2 and search his deck for any card he wants.
Well then.
That is pretty bad. This, the next one.
Now, to prevent Nui from getting 2 additional prizes, Michael will retreat his active Mewtwo, discarding the 2 energies, and opt to Junk Hunt, getting 2 lasers. Now, going back to Nui's turn, his Garbodor takes 30 damage from the poison and Burbank City Gym, and he draws his card after flipping a Tails. There's the Tails. And plays a Charon, which unfortunately for Michael, Nui winds up drawing the switch.
Hammerhead, Sableye, Mewtwo. The double.
And here we have Landorus attacking both Sableye and Mewtwo for the double knockout, allowing Nui to draw 3 prizes, 2 for the Mewtwo, 1 for the Sableye. And Michael sends out his Darkrai, and in a last-ditch effort, he's going to try to sleep lock his opponent using the lasers. Now, unfortunately, with 1 prize left on Nui's side, there's not much he can do. But he does play the end, forcing Nui to have a hand of just 1 card, whereas Michael gets to draw 6. So he's not quite out of it, but looking at Nui's bench, it's going to be a tough battle. And here we have Michael dealing the damage to Landorus and trying to do some damage to the bench Trubbish. However, Nui does wind up flipping the heads for the wake up on the Landorus, in which turn Nui will be able to knock out the Darkrai. We have a saying here, live by the coin, die by the coin.
Yeah, I was gonna